Hello everyone, this is BBD and I'm back for another block constructed video, and this time the deck I'm playing is Naya, which is red, white, green, and this deck holds a very special place in my heart. Kind of have a history with this deck, you could say, and back before Avacyn Restored came out, I was playing Naya, and there weren't cards like Restoration Angel or Borderland Ranger, but Huntmaster still existed, and Devil's Play and Volley and all these cards. So I was basically playing a Naya deck based around like the mana excel from cards like Avacyn's Pilgrim, and then Huntmaster and Gavany Township, and it was definitely my favorite deck in the format, and it was kind of a deck that no one else was really playing. And when Avacyn Restored came out, I was helping some people, the SCG Blue team, prepare for the Pro Tour. And the first deck that I came up with was Naya, which was the deck that I had been playing before, and it got a lot of new tools like Restoration Angel and Zealous Conscripts. And so the first deck that I came up with was this Naya, and also Borderland Ranger, because the mana was really bad in the old deck. So like the first deck that I came up with was Naya, and like we did some testing with it, and it didn't end up being good enough. But I didn't want to give up on it, so I built like a different Naya deck that was like played different cards, but I thought maybe it was a little bit better, and it ended up being very good. And that ended up being the deck that they played at the Pro Tour, and Josh Cho finished third place with it. So this deck has some sentimental value to myself, and the deck I have right here is greatly different than the deck that they played at the Pro Tour. There's been a lot of changes since then. Like, we didn't discover how good Abundant Growth was, and we didn't play doubles plays. We only played 3 bonfires, and we didn't play any of these removal spells. It's kind of a very different deck, but the metagame has changed a lot, so this is what I feel is good right now. And this deck has been great for me lately. Played it in a premier event yesterday and finished in third. And then I went 4-0 and 3-1 in the last 2 dailies I played with the deck. So I've had some very good results with it, and it feels very strong, and I'm really happy with it. So I'm going to talk about some of the choices here. The mana base, I'm playing 3 Gavany Townships because this is one of the best cards in the deck. It's just awesome with Huntmaster because you can activate Township, so you get like a card's worth out of value. It's like you're casting something on the turn, activating Township, but at the same time you're not actually casting a spell, so you can flip your Huntmaster. So Gavany is really awesome with Huntmaster, and it's great with like Pilgrim because he ramps you and then becomes an actual threat with Township and so forth. So Township's one of the reasons to play white over just straight red-green. And then the mana base is like 4 Evolving Wilds, mostly Forest again, so we can cast like Pilgrim, Abundant Growth, and Borderland Ranger to get our other colors, and then like the red-white duel. And we play 3 Mountains because of Devil's Play. We want to be able to flashback Devil's Play, and like Borderland Ranger gives you the ability to get these 3 Mountains. Like Evolving Wilds and Borderland Ranger means that with 3 Mountains in your deck, even if you don't draw a Clifftop Retreat or Abundant Growth, you can still flashback a Devil's Play. So that's kind of a big deal. And we want to naturally draw a lot of mountains because there's a ton of red spells in the deck. So that's the mana base. 4 Avacyn's Pilgrim ramp you to these cards. And this is kind of what gives you an edge over some of the other decks is you can play like Huntmaster before another Huntmaster deck, which is a huge advantage because flipping your Huntmaster first, being able to pass the turn with a Huntmaster against another Huntmaster lets you kill their Huntmaster based on the way the triggers stack. So it's pretty important to be the first person to cast a Huntmaster. And then Abundant Growth is just awesome for fixing the mana on this deck, and it lets you play 3 Gavany Townships, where otherwise it would be a little rough on the mana base. So the threats are 4 Huntmaster, 4 Restoration Angel. Restoration Angel is awesome because you can pass the turn, flip your Huntmaster, kill one of their guys. They probably can't attack into your 4/4, and then end of their turn you can Restoration Angel the Huntmaster to flip it back, get another wolf, gain 2 more life, and then if you want to, you could pass the turn again to flip it over again and kill another thing. It's just a really awesome synergy between these 2 cards. Restoration Angels also go to the Borderland Ranger, getting another land. Zealous Conscript stealing another permanent of theirs. So Angel has awesome synergy in the deck, and Restoration Angels even find Tree of Redemption on the sideboard. So play 1 Hellrider, just kind of a Miser's Hellrider. It's good in a variety of matchups, so I'm playing 1 main and 2 more on the board. Just so I have 1 in the matchups where it's awesome, and then the times where I don't want it, there's a good chance I won't draw my 1 of, and I can side it out. And the times I do want it, I can bring in the other 2. And one thing about this deck is I play 0 Wolfear Silverhearts, and I don't think that card's very good in this deck. Because it just doesn't really synergize as well in this deck as it does in some of the other decks. And I like Zealous Conscript a lot more because Zealous Conscript is a slightly more aggressive than Silverheart, but has less staying power. But this deck against other Silverheart decks, you kind of want to play the aggressor role. So you want a card like this that breaks up their Silverheart and is a little bit faster, rather than just play your own Silverheart, since they're kind of a better Silverheart deck than you are. So, but I like Zealous Conscript a lot, and I have always felt like playing this is better than playing Silverheart in the Naya deck. So I'm playing those, and then I just have a ridiculous amount of removal, and that's one of the differences between this Naya deck and some of the earlier versions I was playing, is I did not have nearly this much removal in earlier versions, and I think that was a mistake because these cards have all been great, and I think Devil's Play has seen a bit of a resurgence. For a while, it was pretty back before Avacyn Restored. Almost every deck played 4 copies of Devil's Play. Once Avacyn hit, everyone started playing Bonfire, and no one was playing Devil's Play at all. And then people have started picking Devil's Play back up again. And I think I'm kind of pioneering it by playing a full 4. And none of the other decks are playing a full 4 copies, and the card's been awesome for me. So I'm very happy with the 4 Devil's Play and 4 Bonfire. Bonfire is better in a deck where you play Avacyn's Pilgrim, because you can cast it earlier, and mana guys make Bonfire much better. So playing less than 4 is acceptable in decks that don't have these guys, but when you're playing this in your deck, I would never want to play less than 4 Bonfires. Brimstone Volley is not amazing, but it's kind of a catch-all. It's good against decks that play Hellrider, because you can kill a Hellrider before they get to attack. It's good against Huntmaster. You can win Huntmaster flips. You can sometimes kill a Silverheart with it, depending on how the board goes, with the Morbid 5 damage. So just kind of a catch-all spell. It's not really great in any matchup, but it's not really bad in any matchup either for the most part. And Pillar is kind of the same way, just a catch-all removal spell. It's not great against control decks, but you can still do 2 damage to them. So it's still not terrible there. And Pillar is a great way to flip Huntmasters back and forth because it only costs 1. If you flip your Huntmaster, Pillar is an easy way to play 2 spells the next turn. So this is the main deck here, and the sideboard I have 2 more Hellriders. Again, they come in matchups where Hellrider's good, which is against some of the mid-rangey decks, and against all the control decks, Hellrider's the best threat against them. The 4th Zealous Conscript comes in against the control decks, and also Jund, because they play Falconwrath Aristocrat, and Conscripts basically forces them to sack their Aristocrat to itself. Otherwise, you get to steal it and then sack it, yourself. There's been a bit of a resurgence in the Angel of Glory's Rise decks. Those are the Reanimator decks that reanimate Angel of Glory's Rise and then get back a ton of humans, and Grafdigger's Cage just shuts that deck down, so playing 3 copies for that. Garrick is for mono black zombies. It's the matchup where he really shines. And I also like it in some of the matchups that play this card. and except for Jund, because Aristocrat just kills Garrick. And I also like Garrick against decks like Mono Green. Mono Green's kind of had a small resurgence, and Garrick's pretty good against them because they don't really have a way to kill it. And they play their own Garricks, so sometimes you want to just be able to kill theirs, or beat them to Garrick is the best. Tree is, again, for the white-red aggressive decks. It's just an amazing card in those matchups. Blasphemous Act is basically part of my sideboard plan against Silverheart decks now, because I don't really have a good way to deal with Silverheart. My best way to deal with Silverheart is to kill all their creatures before it hits and then doubles play it, but that does not always work out in practice. So Blasphemous Act is just a very good card against that. Like out of the board, you basically can let them Silverheart and then just Blasphemous Act the board away, and it kind of resets things in your favor. The fourth pillar is for the hyper-aggressive decks, and sometimes I board it in depending on how I feel in some other matchups, but like the white-red aggressive deck and Zombies pillar is awesome against them, so that's where you want the fourth. But this is the Naya deck, so hopefully I can continue to have good success with it, and I will see you for the first round.